If I was something else, somewhere else, not a part of this world, and I imagined living on Earth as a human, what would I do? How would I live? Having observed the people, seeing many different lives, the good, the bad, the beauty and the ugliness, with that understanding, how would I live the 80 years? In timeless silence I pondered on the thought. What I had only known was endless beauty, in the world's understanding could only be described as in the knowing of love. I, only knowing and being the essence of life, I only knew pure beauty. I saw it, breathed it, felt it, and heard it in the silence of eternity. I was everything, and everything was one. Knowing the dimensions of the essence, I had no desire for worldly gain for security, because the freedom of the oneness was beyond this world's logic. I would set goals for myself, because life demands and rewards dedication to its service. From my observation, the people of this world numb themselves from the essence and therefore limit themselves by their own thoughts. I had a desire to express and share understanding in my 80 years and experience the miracle of just having life. So I decided to accept the challenge. I was conceived and given flesh. As I grew up in this world, I was made aware that the world is a maze in which was trial and error. To experience is to become. It was hard not to be suppressed by the breath of confusion in direction when faced with superficial happiness. The essence of life is very pure and very sensitive. It can easily be drowned by the pushiness of time. This uncontrollable movement forward, I found, led me into fear. I had no experience in either time nor fear. This whole universe is enslaved by this movement forward. I felt I had lost my power of control. I feared not knowing where time was taking me. In my awareness, I realised what it was to be fully human, trapped within a body, trapped within time. I was trying to remind myself of who I was and how I wanted to live. I feared if I got caught by the pressures and the common thinking of this world and forget where I'd came from, I would never return. A fearful realisation came over me of death. I was human, bound to the earth by breath and returning to the earth as dust. Of course, to have life there is a beginning and end. I had not known this before. Where I came from, there was only eternity. This fear of time and death paralysed me. I tried to find peace in who I was, but all I found was an escalating panic being dragged along by the noose of time. The more I struggled to free myself, the more inadequate I became. I tried to compensate for my incompleteness, thinking it would ease my emptiness, but it only numbed my senses and confused what was left of my clarity. This enhanced my desperation. I had never known this frustrating, domineering power, this shadow of fear. Subtly, this shadow had become my master, dictating my thoughts and my actions, deceiving me, slowly becoming me and destroying me. I found it impossible to live the way I wanted. I wanted to share beauty and understanding in this life, but what I saw in myself was ugliness and emptiness. My failure was complete. This shadow of fear sent me into an abyss of sadness, of emptiness, pain, lack of desire, and a numb aimlessness. I experienced being alone, seeing the world moving with no sound or smell. Oh, the feelings, the overwhelming desperation. I was separated from everything and everyone. I was desperately feeling I did not belong, and not remembering where I had come from, I found myself in a bottomless pit of nothingness. In my timeless vacuum of darkness, I blamed this world and its ugliness for stealing the beauty from me. I was angry. I experienced hate. I hated myself. I hated life. I was trapped. I wanted to die. I wished I had never come to this unjust world. There is nothing here that exists without pain. Love, beauty, always tainted. Nothing is pure. I also will never be pure. My innocence has been taken away. I am only a shell of flesh with the stench of death rising from my soul. I let the waves wash over me in surrender of death. My body felt so tired, and my mind closed its eyes to all of its desires. Then, to my surprise, in the instance of death, it gave me life. A heavy weight seemed to have been lifted off my chest, my lungs filled with air. My eyes were clear, my mind awake. In one quantum second, I died and was reborn. I felt the joy of being alive bubbling up from the centre of my being. I had died to what I thought I had to be. When I had nothing, I had everything. I did not have to be a slave to this world, to time, nor to fear. I realised I had freedom, freedom of choice. I felt the essence of life again. My ears were filled with beautiful music. My eyes glided over the mountains and the sea. Although I were the mountains and I was the sea. The intensity of colours from the setting sun was captured in the droplets of my tears. Gratitude gushed from my belly. My tongue tasted its beauty. I felt the passion and the pain, the beauty and joy, also sadness and the bitter tears. They were mixed together. There was no time. There were no dividing lines. The sky was my soul. My arms became wings and I rose higher than any cloud would dare to cover. I could smell the freedom and felt the wind go through my body, and we were all there inside of us. I lived my 80 years, painted my stories, sculpted my feelings and sang my thoughts, and lived my purpose of just being. Of being me, being us, being one. And in doing so, I have shared what I have and expressed the essence for all to see, although only a few have eyes, and those who have, oh, we have loved. And then I returned home.